You've seen them, thousands of times. Yellow sand, 3 triangles against the sky. Textbooks say slaves, copper saws, and ropes. We think we understand the scale, but get closer. Stand right against the block. 2.5 million fragments, fitted so tightly a human hair cannot pass between them. This isn't just stone. This is a mathematical refusal to obey gravity. At least that's how it looks if you only watch the surface. How much time does it take to lift one block? 5 minutes? 10? If they worked without stopping 24 hours a day for 20 years, they would have to set one block every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, day and night, for decades. How is that possible in a world where the only tool was muscle? The answer isn't in the strength of arms. It's hidden in a missing variable. Look at the Giza Plateau from above. This isn't a construction site, it's a factory, but the machines weigh hundreds of tons. We measure success in inches. Here, a 1 millimeter error over 5 hectares means the entire system fails. We try to imagine one man with a lever, but imagine 1,000 men acting as a single pulse, second by second. No room to breathe. Logic hits a wall. They tell us about ramps, massive mounds of sand. But to build a ramp high enough, you'd need more material than the pyramid itself. So there was no ramp, or it wasn't on the outside. Look at the geometry of the stones. There is a scar, a loophole left in the very body of the structure. Copper saws. We are told they cut granite with copper and sand. Try it yourself. Take a copper plate and rub it against hard granite. You will wear out the copper long before you leave a scratch. The theory turns to dust. But look at the Aswan quarries. Deep, smooth grooves, as if a knife passed through warm butter. The numbers get frightening. To replicate this today, we would need the world's most powerful cranes, and even they would tremble under the weight of the ceiling blocks. 70 tons, 40 meters up. It's absurd. No electricity, no hydraulics. Something in the elements was being used that we choose to ignore. But the stones are here, they are real, and they are perfectly level. Maybe the secret isn't how they pulled the weight, maybe it's how they changed the environment around the weight. Water, wet sand, modifying friction. A small amount of moisture turns a mountain into a sliding object. That solves the movement, but it doesn't solve the height. Forget the block. Think of the flow. This isn't building, it's a logistics conveyor. The quarry, the river, the shore. If one boat is late, the entire system dies. The structure had to breathe with the rhythm of the Nile. The flooding wasn't an obstacle, it was the engine. Water energy raised to the level of technology. Don't look for engineers, look for psychologists. How do you make 20,000 people believe they are building order itself? They didn't use blueprints in our sense. They used the earth as a mirror for the sky, a transition from raw mechanics to the management of collective intent. But why this precision where no one will ever see it? Stop asking how. Look at time. The pyramid isn't a building. It's a device built to fight entropy. Every face is oriented to the cardinal points with a precision we need sensors to achieve. Why give a compass to a corpse? Built into millions of tons of limestone? It feels like a frozen equation. Certain proportions repeat with disturbing precision. Numbers appear where we wouldn't expect them to matter at all. Some see patterns, others see coincidence. But if this really is intentional, what kind of thinking turns mathematics into stone? Change the angle slightly and the balance collapses. This structure isn't just standing still. It exists on the edge between pressure and release. What we call stability here looks more like a controlled process. Listen, the wind whistles between the joints. Sand brushes against the polished surface. Once these walls were blindingly white. A mirror in the desert. Silence. No sounds of construction here. Just the tactile feeling of heat the stone stored during the day. Can you feel how smooth it is? A worker's life lasted 30 years. The shadow of this pyramid has fallen on the same spot for 4,000. A human life is just a flicker in the rhythm of this place. We try to measure their technology with our time, but they had a different time. Slow, infinite. They weren't building for themselves. Step inside. The air becomes heavy. 6 million tons are hanging over your head. Thin shafts climb toward the stars. They aren't necessary for ventilation. Air barely moves through them. Their purpose doesn't match the explanations we're comfortable with, which leaves a question we don't like asking. What were they really designed for? Look at the joints in the king's chamber. Granite blocks fitted with a precision that feels excessive, especially in total darkness, where no one would ever see this level of work. Maybe the answer isn't a lost machine, but a principle, using weight against weight, letting matter do the work itself. The idea is simple, almost uncomfortable, because it suggests they weren't stronger than us, just thinking differently. The tools don't matter. The idea that forced the matter to obey does. Why this shape? Why here? To trick death. They weren't building an object. They were building an interface between the ground and something external. Every block is just a pixel in a giant image. Shift your optics. Stop asking how they built the pyramids. Ask yourself this: if they wanted to leave a message that survives every disaster, every war, and every change in language, would they have built anything else? We are looking at the masonry. But should we be reading the form? What if the pyramid isn't the answer, but the largest question ever asked of us?